Spooky.
Oh, you can just about see us.
Guess which one's which? Which one's Genevieve? Which one is not Genevieve?
Good evening.
Hello, Nino. How are you doing?
Nino. I was like, what am I reading? Sans Follies. Should we put a light on?
I think so. But yeah, we thought we'd try and start this a little bit differently with some skeletons, because we're obviously at Halloween now, almost. It's that weekend anyway.
Ready? Hey!
Hooray! There's light. So how have we been recently, Nino? How's Foxanne? Oh, hello, Finlay. Welcome. We've only just started having drinks already.
Sorry.
Bodes well for the evening. Good, thanks. Keeping it to bare bones. I said very good.
We'll have to make sure we turn the lights off again at the end once we've recharged the glow.
Regenerated. No, hang on. That happened last weekend. Hello, Ian. Welcome. My pillow's disappearing. It's comfy to lie against. But yes, how are we all?
Off, sat up and lean back.
We do gradually, yeah. Yes, how are we all? It's been a whole month, really.
Yeah, I don't know what date the last one was.
No, I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah.
Have a gander.
I would say it's been a busy month, but not really on YouTube.
No, it hasn't been on YouTube.
It's been busy outside of YouTube and not so much within. So
it's that adjustment period, though, isn't it? We said this right from the beginning. Sort of the end of September, October, kind of beginning of November is that adjustment period into back having nothing to do at the weekends. It's very strange.
Yeah. I mean, I've found myself coming to visit yours quite a lot more recently, because most of the times when we go to shows, Genevieve usually comes up to mine because that's where the Mini is, and usually it's the Mini going to the shows.
That's where the cars are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once my car's there, they're all...
And then all the cars are there, and that's where we'll usually film a video. But this time, not really any shows going on, apart from maybe one that we might be going to tomorrow.
Well, it's not quite a show, though.
No, it's more of a social gathering, shall we say. But yes, all good here in the world of fuel power. Anyway, our LDV convoy is decent. You're looking at a few on Marketplace. Depends on the age of them, I suppose, because, of course, more recent years, LDV have been taken over by SAIC, same company that make MG these days. But yeah, the LDV convoy has been around for a little while, so it depends which particular model you're looking at. As far as I know, they're decent vans, reliable. Older ones, I think, use the same engine as the Ford Transit of the 90s, that is, but that's obviously going back a few years. And then after that, it's obviously SAIC, I think, their own engines in those ones. I'm not entirely sure with the old shape van. Again, as far as I know with those, older shape ones, they're good vehicles, reliable, robust. Ford Transit engine, I can't remember the exact specification of the engine, but they're okay. Never heard any bad reviews on them, but the Postal Service tends to use a lot of them.
I do know what they are, I think. Like postman vans.
Yeah, kind of.
Sorry, postman.
Bit bigger than, but not the small, like, Vauxhall combo type.
I'll Google it. Also, 24th of September was our last chit-chat.
It's been a while.
It's been 5 weeks. I think that's quite a long time. I like those, like minibuses.
Yeah, those ones. Yes, Ian, I think you're right. I think they are developments of the Sherpa van. Yeah, they've really changed a lot over the years, realistically. I mean, LDV, what's it stand for? Leyland DAF Vehicles, isn't it, off the top of my head? That's the thing I know a lot about, a little, basically. or a little about a lot.
LDV is Leyland DAF Vans.
Oh, that's close. I think it's the banana engine. Quite possibly. Not quite sure on that. But yes, what have you guys all been up to in the time it's been since we last all spoke? And as we say, keeping it rather on theme with it being Halloween.
Yeah, we're Halloween fans over here, aren't we?
I love Halloween. It's the best time of the year. Even though there are no presents, of course.
You could have Halloween presents.
Well, if you could. Trick or treating, I suppose. That's a form of presents.
Yeah.
In a way.
You could make Halloween presents a thing. What could you have for Halloween as a present?
arts and crafty things to make witch
things.
outfits and
pumpkins
and zombies and pumpkins. Yeah, plenty of options there.
Yes, definitely things. Any trick or treaters? Not tonight, but very potentially on Monday.
Won't be for me.
No,
I'm a bit more out in the sticks, but
we tend to have probably only about 4 or 5. There's not that many children around where I live. Lots of people, but not many children. No. Despite the fact we're sandwiched in between 2 primary schools and a secondary school.
Blimey. So who's doing a social tomorrow? For us, that'd be the Hampshire Mini Owners Club. They're running a very small gathering down the New Forest, so we're hoping to maybe come along and join them, see what the weather's like tomorrow.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah. Is that actually meant to be bad?
I don't know. I've not looked.
No, I shall have a quick look, see what the weather's supposed to be like. Have a look.
Turn the doorbell off. I tried to put my cars under the tree out the way.
Sunday.
We can't hide our cars. We've got too many of them.
It's just first world problems. Tomorrow is supposed to be up until about 2ish, but 30% chance of rain. So it's more than likely we'll go tomorrow. Get a bit of footage from that. So that'll be good fun. I'm looking forward to that. I've not done many mini runs this year other than the Isle of Wight one. Yeah, realistically, before we've had a bit of a break from doing YouTube because it has been a very, very busy summer. Realistically, the Isle of Wight adventure was the last big show we did, apart from Simply British Classics as well. So,
yeah, because that would have been we wouldn't have done it since the last live stream because that was the 25th of September.
That's very true.
So the last live stream we did, the next day we were going to Bewley for Simply British Classics. So Millie and Gertie went, and obviously us and my dad.
No, they took themselves. Which actually, that's a video I still need to put up. I thought I'd put it up, but I haven't.
So we did we did that. And then the Monday, that was the other thing we did. Then the Monday after that, I started back at work. So in my kind of proper job. Proper job. Which was fun, interesting. Spend a lot of time in my car now. I was racking up the miles big time.
In a minute, but...
Well, not in my car, but in the car then. And then we went to SMMT Day on the Thursday.
Yes.
So we had to go in some
newer
brand
vehicles.
New, shiny, clean, nice smelling cars.
They're very well cleaned.
I was going to say the people were incredibly attentive.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, it's something I like to try and point out when I go to these shows that the teams often running the events themselves with the marshals, and especially things like SMMT, where you got a lot of people going into cars, the same vehicle even, constantly, maybe got a turnaround time of about 2 minutes maybe. The cleaners there do an incredible job to actually get it all ready for the next person to go in and have a drive in. I think it's absolutely fantastic what they do. They deserve more credit than they tend to get, because of course when you go to SMMT events, you get a lot of people just going there just to talk to the cars and the PR departments, but without the cleaners you wouldn't have the cars to review.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to go in
because, well, especially during the last couple of years with certain viruses, it's been one of those things.
Yeah. But the videos obviously we filmed from that. How many videos did we get out of it? 5?
5 or 6 off the top of my head.
And we were there helping Joseph as well, so he's got some content coming out.
He's got a few cars on review. He might have actually put some up already, knowing what he's like. He's always on it with videos.
He put the MG4 up, didn't he, that day?
Yes, but Joseph is one of these people that's just always on it with videos. He'll get a video out yesterday if he could.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how he can actually do it so quickly. I can't match that.
Yeah, and then we did. Hello. So I just we did, and then it flashed up. I was just really ill that weekend. I woke up Thursday morning. It's children giving me germs. I was just so
drained. I think that's the word to describe it.
I was drained.
And it wasn't COVID either.
I was unwell. No, but I think I was worse with that cold than when I had COVID.
Oh yeah, she was pretty much bedbound for about 2 or 3 days, really.
Yeah, I didn't have any energy. It was awful.
Might have been like a flu virus type thing.
Yeah, potentially. And also children carry different germs that they like to spread around as well. Nice. But I'm all fine now. But yeah, so we had a pretty chilled weekend of not really doing very much, didn't we?
Pretty much. Although the next couple of weeks I will be busy over the weekend with various different things that I need to do.
Yes.
Mainly with the fleet, but maybe a few other things on the side as well.
Yeah.
That sounds really dodgy, but
I've not got any part to play in those.
But yeah, plenty going on at home and not really much else and about really. As I say, realistically, show season, that's it. It's all gone now.
Yeah, we've been busy doing life stuff, so we've kind of focused on like that sort of bit for a little while, and then we're going to turn our attention as November starts back to getting Fuel Power ready for next year, which is quite exciting.
Yeah, it will be. Right, shall we go back to the comments? Because there's been a couple since we've gone on about what we've been up to.
So Ian also lives out in the sticks, so he doesn't get trick-or-treaters out there.
No, I completely understand that. I mean, I'm not massively out in the sticks. I'm still...
No, but you don't have particularly many children around where you live.
No, most of the people around me are elderly.
60 plus.
Elderly, shall we say, compared to me.
You could go.
I could go. I'm dressed for the occasion. I could go around in my Scooby-Doo outfit I took to Comic-Con one year.
You took that to Minis in the Gorge as well, didn't you?
I did take the Minis in the Gorge. I didn't wear it.
Right, stop commenting. Hang on. Let's go back.
Well, don't turn them off commenting. It's not point of these live streams.
Seen a Belingo M59 on eBay, plus some random stickers that are probably only for the advert.
Quite possibly.
Your Belingos are growing on you, aren't they?
I've always liked the Belingo. I think they're a good vehicle, especially given that essentially they are a van just with a couple of extra seats in the back.
We don't need any more cars. Also, you might hear fireworks. Don't know what they're celebrating, but they're going off. I've the Mini off the road for the winter and already started on the winter tweaking and upgrading. No more shows or runs on the cars until February. Yes,
Ian's always got some exciting updates coming on the Traveller, actually. So if you're not already subscribed to him, go and check out his stuff, because I'm sure he'll have some video content on his work on the Traveller coming up very soon.
Yes.
Go plugging your channel there, Ian.
Yeah, yesterday's video wasn't enough. Gee.
Yeah. Yeah, yesterday's video. Should we talk about that briefly?
Can do. You were the one that wanted to go through the comments, so yes.
Yes.
Okay, you do that.
I'll go through the comments and then we'll discuss the yesterday's
Simone
video.
says hello, and
yes,
thank
hello,
you
Simone.
for our stickers. They will. Well, you're taking yours home with you, aren't you?
Yes, I will be.
So that will be going on the
Mini.
On the Mini, and
it
mine
kind of fits right, given your channel's called Hooked on Classics. Right, car to put it on the classic.
Mine will go on my car when I get it back from the repair shop.
Hooray!
Random. That is random. But who is your favourite singer?
I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, I know my favourite band. Does that count?
Oh, I don't know.
Does band count? You can answer, Finley. You ask the question. Because if I know band, I don't know singer. I don't really have many
specific
solo singers that I listen to.
No. I mean, I listen to quite a wide variety of music, I think.
Yeah, you do. And I think so do I, but
yes,
that counts. Okay. Noah and the Whale is my favourite band. I don't know why particularly. It was kind of that thing when you're like teenager and you find music that you like. That was kind of the band that was around. And it was a big thing at my school as well. We had like 5 years time. 5 years time was played on my last day of school. So there's like lots of memories in that kind of part of it. Yeah.
Whereas for me, one of my favourites is probably Bon Jovi.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, John Bon Jovi, the main singer of it. But I really like their music. It's just something I've always listened to. I've been a fan of Bon Jovi for absolutely years.
I listen to anything.
I had Guitar Hero on, I think it was was it PS2 or Xbox? Possibly Xbox. Quite a few years ago.
PS2.
Did you? Mm. Wow. I think I might have had it on PS2. Anyway, that's beside the point.
Probably still got it on PS2.
Probably. I've got loads of games from my PS2 still play occasionally. But yeah, many of their songs were on the Guitar Hero games, and that's just how I got into many of the rock style of music, I guess.
Yeah.
And that sort of softer rock, I guess you could call it.
We had SingStar on our PS2, so like the singing, but so you could hook up SingStar with Guitar Hero as well, and you could.
Could you?
Yeah. And there was a lot of musical songs on there, which is where my love of musicals came from.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. So I listen to more musical soundtracks than I do proper singers when I'm by myself. It's only really when I'm with you.
I like Rocksmith. That was quite good. Do you know what that was? Basically, it was like Guitar Hero, but you used an actual guitar rather than a plastic push button one.
Cool.
So you can plug in your actual guitar into your console, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it was, and then just play your actual guitar playing along to songs.
That's a good idea.
Still got it. I have to give it a go at some point.
Christmas. Fireworks.
Maybe.
Been camping in the little caravan at all? Like the vid from the van the other day. Sounded like you were on a main road though.
Yeah, the special video.
Yes.
But yes, we have been camping in the caravan, but not really lately, to be honest.
No, we're slightly concerned by the weight of Trixie's chassis on the remaining cars. We don't want to break any more, and
basically it's meant to be
very
200 kilos caravan in total, but we're probably estimating it's maybe close to 400, which is twice what it should be.
Yeah. But we are in talks with some people about a lighter chassis, so that might be happening. That
might be the next update with the caravan, potentially. So a little bit of a sneak preview for you on things that may or may not be coming up, but nothing's certain at the minute. Nothing's guaranteed, but the chassis is quite a quick and easy thing to change, really, on that. So if we do, it'll happen probably early next year, I imagine.
Yeah. And the main road is Jake's Road as a rat ran on a Saturday afternoon. That's why.
Yeah, I don't live on particularly a busy road, but it's just one of these that's gotten busier and busier and busier.
It's the Saturday afternoon rat run from the town centre out into the sticks a little bit more, and people just drive down that road quite quickly as well sometimes.
Yeah, big campaigns at the minute to change the speed limits.
Yeah.
So we shall see what happens with that. But rural life, eh?
Everyone's saying hello to each other. Thanks very much for the shout out in the last video. Really appreciate it. Already a couple more. That's good. We saw you're getting close to 300 now, which is nice. Make sure you celebrate when you get to these little milestones.
Yeah, I celebrated at 300.
Yeah, that was your the 205, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It was the first video I filmed for you, or helped film.
We tried to make it look a bit more 90s in style.
Yeah, and everything was out of focus because I did it. That's what I'm really worried about the review video, that everything's going to be out of focus.
It shouldn't be, because the cameras you were using, which were the little DJI cameras.
Oh no, not those bits, because I filmed some of it on my SLR, and I'm really worried that it's going to be out of focus.
Oh well, we'll find out when you actually do your first review, because that's something we could discuss.
Yep, I suppose so.
Ooh, fireworks! They're getting louder and louder.
They are getting louder. On Friday last week, so not yesterday, a week ago now, my little 500 was taken away to the, is it the body shop? That sounds really American, but like the body shop.
Taken to the body shop.
The body shop. To be repaired after her little altercation with the lorry on the day after the party. It wasn't too dramatic, but it wasn't very pretty, and it was quite well dented into the black driver's side door. And I was World War III. I was given a 70 reg Vauxhall Corsa, Premium Elite Turbo Nav something, really long name.
Doing it homework.
And instead, so it's much bigger than my car. It's got an electric handbrake, keyless entry. It's all very modern.
Not keen on the electric handbrake.
No, I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it, because you don't need to take it off. If you put your foot on the brake, it does it automatically for you. Yeah.
Oh,
you got to put your foot on the brake, and then you go to accelerate. As long as you're in first, it will just take the handbrake off for you, and off you go.
Fair enough.
It does get easier to navigate, and I'm sort of just getting used to it now after having it for a week and driving it around a little bit. But I think I've got it until Wednesday potentially still. It was all supposed to be sorted by the end of the week, but obviously these things take time, and the actual repairs are done. It's just getting the stripe and a tyre. We don't really quite know. It's obviously all going through the insurance.
It might be because the wheel was quite badly scuffed, so they might have to take the tyre off to do. Well, they probably will have to take the tyre off to do it.
It needed a new one anyway, so it's fine. But
even better.
It was all. It was supposed to be sorted yesterday, but obviously these things have taken a little bit longer, and it's going to take till Wednesday. But I'm fine. I've just got to navigate. I'm just going to turn the brightness up. Navigate parking it in the school car park, which is already quite tight. with my car, although it does have a very good reverse parking camera and parking sensors, so hopefully I should be okay.
Yeah,
Just try to get to work early on Tuesday just to make sure.
That's the thing with electric parking brakes. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan, though. I much prefer a manual handbrake thing. I'm, I guess, quite old school with the cars.
Yeah, I do prefer a manual handbrake. I think had it been automatic as well, that would have thrown me completely out. I wouldn't have known what to do. But I think I've definitely got better, because I think the last time you went in it with me was on that Friday, wasn't it?
Yes.
When I picked it up, and I definitely feel more comfortable.
No, Saturday actually, wasn't it?
Friday. When we went to Astor.
Gosh.
Time
goes by.
I definitely think I've got more used to it, and it's become an easier drive now. I've sort of driven around kind of where I live and like to my friends and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm getting used to it. And I did say I'm going to miss some of the elements of it, like the power behind it, like pulling away, because my car just doesn't have that.
No. What it needs is a pound 100 HP.
I need something just a bit
or an
more.
Abarth.
Yeah.
But Abarth engine swap and your 500,
yeah, maybe I
make
should
it
just
a
got them
sleeper.
to do that.
Yeah, there's an idea.
Just keep it until
Yeah.
until you've done that.
My experience with electric handbrakes usually consists of about 20 minutes driving. So I don't really have a lot of time to get used to them.
No, it is worth maybe trying, and something that we will be looking into. Going to get in contact with some local companies and stuff in terms of
how you go with these things.
Yeah.
Yes, the stickers on TC, excellent. As I say, I'll be putting my sticker on Millie, and yes, cars, I am a 55-year-old housewife. There's nothing wrong with Bon Jovi.
I'm going to knock back slightly. Simone, you'll have to email us a picture and we'll share it on our socials and stuff.
And we'll send you one with Millie.
Yeah.
Put the sticker on, and yours when yours comes back eventually.
Yeah. Gotta wait for that one though.
We'll find out when.
We'll be subscribing to Fox and Swallows was my favourite Top Nut car. Well, that would have been a real adventure to get it over to Northern Ireland, wouldn't it? Blimey.
Collection caper and a half, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't do anything to the 500. I wasn't driving. My mum was taking it to work, and a lorry decided it would scrape up the side of the car at the traffic lights. Only clipped the wind mirror, apparently.
Only, yeah.
Only.
Yeah, clearly.
But it's all sorted. Everybody's fine, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, you've got a courtesy car. You're not without wheels, and even if you didn't have a courtesy car, you could always use Millie or Panda anyway. Doesn't, we could have sorted something out for you.
Just do a thank you at 1,500. Ooh, exciting. That's pretty, it's been getting hefty numbers. So an old 205 this morning, Bournemouth Reg.
PR. So PR Reg, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so.
Or is it? Or could it be XPR Peugeot? I don't know.
No,
anyway,
probably Reg.
Yeah, Nino, not a big fan of electric handbrakes either. Wrote off 2 cars in a year due to... Wait, really? How? What for?
Yeah.
Did they just not come on, or just not come off, or something?
I don't think many people do like electric handbrakes. It does take some getting used to, but
I mean, it takes PR being the red.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, electric handbrakes. As I say, I'm not a big fan, but I guess they take up less space on the interiors. There is that benefit, but at the same time, is it worth it?
Yeah,
probably not in the long run.
Carlos, how?
Need to run over myself to switch off that. Wow, genius.
How do you knock it? How do you knock it off? And from outside the car.
To be fair, actually, the point you make though is more common than you'd think.
But how do you do it? I always do it the wrong way. I keep putting it up, and because obviously to put a handbrake off. You pull it down, or you push it down. So on that, you still push the button down, but it just you automatically reach and flick it.
Shall we have a quick story about electric handbrakes and failures?
If you want to.
Okay, so I read somewhere in an instruction manual for electric handbrakes. This is going to completely go off topic here, I guess. But my neighbour over the road from me, she had a Audi A1, I think 2014 reg. And to put it this way, their drive slopes down, as I just see cars park on a slope. The driveway slopes down. And what happened was they pulled press the button for it to come on, or pulled it up, or whatever you have to do on that particular model. Pulled it up and it activated the brakes. I'd imagine, obviously, rear disc brake on a car like that. And got out of the car, went in the house, completely fine. About probably 15, 20 minutes later, the car rolled forwards and into the embankment of my house. Well, not in my house, parents' house, but where I live.
Yeah.
And apparently what had happened was...
Is that from the bungalow?
No. The one next door.
Oh, next door.
One next door. But the thing is with that was apparently what had happened was because of obviously the car had been driven, I'm imagining, quite far. I think they'd been visiting their boyfriend or something at the time. Come back, and because they'd had quite a long journey, the brakes had gotten hot, parked up, hot brakes, electric handbrake came on. They got out of the car, went inside, and brakes cooled down eventually. And because electronic handbrake, it didn't self-adjust. So when the brakes cooled, that just meant it rolled forwards. So apparently it says in the handbook for Audi A1s, always leave it in gear as well as with the handbrake on. So there we go. Top tip, I guess, from Fuel Power. It's not the first car I've seen do that either. A Mini did that in Bridgenorth as well when I was there.
God, you're in luck, aren't you? All these
Yeah,
exciting
with
things.
my nan standing in front of it. It's
Oh,
like,
God.
move.
Quick.
What? You know. No, she's not exactly a dumb lady, but she's not very good at hearing either these days, to say the least. So trying to get her to move somewhere quickly is not the best either. So
can't do a handbrake turn with an electric handbrake either.
No.
That's very
without
true,
me trying to
Ian.
sound heroic, because I don't deserve it.
Did you pick her up and like...
No, I actually pushed against the car while she moved and then let it roll forward into the curb because she would have been hit by it if she hadn't have moved. I mean, it was against the curb, but the point still stands.
If you had your own garage, what would you have as a courtesy car?
Something old.
What, to give out to people? I think that'd go down very well.
Not really old, but like early 2000s,
like
mid 2000s.
So like the Renault.
Yeah, something like that. Renault or Panda aged or something. I mean, actually, the Fiat Panda, they're good little cars. Cheap to run, cheap to fix whenever panels get dented.
Volvos.
Quite expensive now, but back then they might not have been so bad.
You could have Volvos because they're safe.
Very safe, yeah.
People have heard of them.
Yeah.
They still make quite a lot of them.
Bearing in mind the garage I set my cars to doesn't actually have any courtesy cars. The only one that I know of in and around me that have got things like Ford KAs and Suzuki Altos.
This one doesn't have courtesy cars. My courtesy car has come from Enterprise. So they're obviously higher. They are affiliated with the repair company, but...
Okay, if I was a newer garage, probably Sandero, because for the same reasons, because they're cheapish.
Yeah. It depends as well, because obviously, like I say, I'm getting mine from Enterprise anyway, but there's...
That's all Kia Picanto.
There's city cars on their thing. They've got city cars, super minis, then like your sort of
bigger car, I
like
guess.
Bigger car, people carrier, van, like all the different categories. And we were expecting probably a Toyota
Igo or Citroen C1, something like that.
But because we asked for a like for my car, but obviously it depended on what they had at the time, and I ended up with a Corsa because we weren't overly bothered. Whereas I suppose if somebody said it needs to be small because I live in the centre of town or I work in the centre of town or something, then they obviously need a smaller car.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't. So it's fine.
Yeah.
You can make out the sticker in my latest film, but I included the sticking in a film it to be a bit... Oh, exciting. Thank you.
Have to give that a watch.
All right.
Someone's out with the fireworks. So being the House of Parliament.
My mate had, I'm assuming an Astra on a sloping drive. Warming up engine, lent into car to rev, automatically released car, rammed into garage. Oh gosh. Thankfully, I've been all right. I don't think it would go down very well if I rammed it into the garage.
No, I'm not sure it would do.
But yeah, so far so good. Maybe no more horror stories on the electric handbrake, because I've got 3 days of it left. No, 4 days of it yet.
At least you won't be driving it tomorrow.
No, I won't be driving it tomorrow. And I potentially won't be driving it on Monday either, but Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to have a nice long journey to and from work.
Yeah, chalking the wheels on electric handbrake cars, good idea. Very much agree with that, I have to say. And the handbrakes are activated by keeping your foot on the brakes.
Yes.
That's what you found out with it. Yeah.
And I think Mum's used to do that as well, because Mum's 500X had an electric handbrake as well. Yeah. She got used to it though, and like didn't mind because now her 500 has got a manual handbrake, and I think she had to readjust to a manual handbrake again.
That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, once you sort of get used to it, I guess it's quite easy and straightforward. Sorry, throat's getting a bit dry. But as someone who doesn't have to do that, I couldn't deal with it.
Oh no, you don't. The thing is, if you don't need to, but it would be like if your mum had a car with an electric handbrake.
If she had one,
you'd get used to it.
I'd deal with it, yeah.
But you would, you deal with it. You wouldn't have to get used to it.
No, it's just another thing to go wrong in my book.
Have a drink.
I will do. I'll just have one.
I know, but sometimes it doesn't always help. Would you ever buy a smoker's car? It wouldn't be the top of my list because obviously getting the smell out is going to be hard because it lingers everywhere. But I suppose if you are that desperate for the car, maybe you would potentially, and just go and get it, give it a really good clean, change the seats maybe.
Good plan.
Change some of the like soft furnishings because obviously that's the bit where it like really gets in. I'm sure Dad's bought a car that was an ex-smoker's car and changed the seats and it helped loads.
I nearly bought one. 2017 Fiat Panda 100 HP before I actually bought my one. That was the one that I went to look at was in Swindon, and that was an ex-smoker's car, and it absolutely reeked of it in there. It wasn't terrible; you could deal with it. I'm sure you get used to it eventually, but
and the thing is, it would fade if you didn't smoke it. The smell would fade.
Yeah, but I would imagine probably if I did buy one, I'd just get the seats and all the interior clean, properly done, valeted.
We'd almost want to take it to somewhere to do it with only the driver's seat screwed in. So you get there and unscrew the driver's seat, and then they can properly give it a deep clean. Luckily,
in the Panda and the 500s, it's fairly straightforward. They're quite cheaply built cars, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah. An S-Max on loan and an electric handbrake did 100 miles an hour on the A303 and got away with it. Yeah, I can imagine.
What, with the handbrake on?
But I could see that the Corsa that I've got at the moment pulls away so quickly. You could get to speeds that you shouldn't be doing quite quickly. Yeah. And quite easily.
Yeah, I was quite surprised by the 100 HP that I drove in Swindon because it was my first experience with a car of that, I guess, power.
Well, that car, the Corsa's got 100 HP.
Is it? Is it actually 100 dead on, or is it a tiny bit more?
It's 100 dead on.
Is it?
Yeah, because you've either got 75, 100 with the turbo, because that's got the turbo. 136. The 8-speed automatic gearbox. Somebody's done their homework.
Again, yeah, you can see it. So your review will be good. We try and tell her review is going to be good of the car, but because
the information might be useful, but
because
the presentation skills might not be there.
I have not driven this Corsa at all, so I cannot comment on it.
Nobody else can. It's me purely, which is weird because I've never had a car that only I can drive.
Yeah.
Obviously, me and all the people that work at Enterprise, but it's funny.
Your Golf screams when you think you're going to have an accident.
This one.
Yeah,
this
the
one
Corsa
beeps
does
at,
as
This
well.
one beeps at you when you need to brake, even though you're nowhere near anybody else.
Does it tell you about crossing white lines or anything?
There is lane assist, but it's not on.
Ah.
He said you only really need that on if you're going to drive in the dark or for long journeys or on the motorway. So I've just left it off because I'm fine as it was. Which car would you class as the newest classic?
That's a hard one. But car would I class the newest classic?
Something from about
late 90s, I'd say.
I was going to go a bit like newer. I was going to say sort of like 2005 max.
Okay. About 15 years old, basically?
Yeah, something like that, because that's for a more modern car. I think they don't last as long anymore.
Carlos has made a good point. The new Alpine is pretty much an instant classic.
Is that the blue one?
That was. Yes, I have driven one. Yes, there is a review. No, I haven't put it up yet.
It'll happen at some point.
Yeah. We had quite a few problems with the audio recording on that, so it might have to be a slightly different style of video. But again...
It will go up at some point.
What else?
The Ford Ka Mark 1 is pretty...
Yeah.
Because that's the more bubbly one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but it's the things that kind of were around when we were children, I suppose, would be what I would class as a classic because you don't see them anymore.
No.
So like the Astra, like your mum had and like my mum had, like I would class that as like a modern classic.
I'd class the Renault as a classic, and I still think of that as being new, even though it's really quite old now.
Yeah.
Whereas the Mini, I think, look at that and go, yeah, that's old because it's a design that's been around since basically the 1950s.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Mini, the Renault, look at that and still think, yeah, it's still fairly new. But then look at the paperwork and go, oh, actually, no, it's about 23, 24 years old. Crikey, didn't expect that. But I guess if sort of relating to that question, one car I would see as being an instant classic the second it is launched, the new Renault 5, the EV. I think that looks really good. I like that. Might buy one day. Not today.
Yeah, not today, thanks. Don't think they'd like it if you rocked up at 8:30 and decided you were going to buy one from somewhere.
No.
I'm just going to jump back up, but I would like you to actually physically hop up and go and get that from the desk.
What is it you're wanting?
The magazine.
Ooh, is it?
Because Ian has made a comment up there that says,
Campbell.
Mr. Campbell, to give his proper title, nice job on becoming published. Great photos in Mini Magazine this month, and when is Jake doing his autograph session? Because, as you will know, we went to the Isle of Wight in September. It feels like ages ago, but it was like a month.
Great event. Absolutely love the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, talking of the Isle of Wight, Mr. Pink's not here this evening.
No, maybe he's a bit busy this evening.
He must be a bit busy.
He's just got another collection caper, hasn't he?
He has. He's been a very busy boy. We were very lucky to do quite a lot of the promo stuff.
It's yet to come out because
it's for next year's event.
Yeah, so you probably won't see anything from that realistically until maybe March, April, May time.
Jake's done all of the filming of the videos and stuff, and I did over 1,000 photos over the weekend. And I mean, Matt's used a few, and he's doing an article for a different magazine.
Yeah,
but Jeff, who former editor of, is that what it says on his little picture? It
says on the video.
This is
Jeff Ruggles. For anyone who might know any names.
Former editor of Mini Magazine, wrote an article for Mini Magazine about the Isle of Wight adventure. See this article here.
It's backwards on our screen, but hoping it's right for you.
And a certain Mr. Bill has featured in one of my pictures. Here, he's named and everything.
With the Time Attack train.
Yeah, so
TAT for short.
So everything, all of the other pictures are Jeff's, but that one's mine. And I don't know if you can see that there, but it says here that the pictures are by Jeff.
Speaking of Matt, he's turned
Fuel
up.
Power. Oh, good evening. I was just showing off your event here. Yes, so we are very pleased with that, and obviously I went and hunted a few pictures for anybody who's interested in minis and hasn't gone out and got it yet. Go and have a look. I did go and hunt it out on Friday, which was nice. So yes, that one will be kept for a very long time, as well as the one from last year with the Isle of Wight in it, because we do also feature in that as well. But just
very briefly,
teeny tiny people in the big picture.
Yes. But yeah, so we say plenty of stuff from the Isle of Wight coming up next year, I guess. But
yes.
More to come on that.
I'm sorry, Matt was like Beetlejuice then. We said his name too many times and he appeared.
Oh, Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Carl sings the Daihatsu Copen, that'll be a very good little car. That's a classic.
I thought he'd just written.
He was Copen.
I was trying to look at where he'd missed the last word off of his previous comment and it didn't make sense, so I just ignored it. Sorry. I thought you'd probably pick up on whatever it was he was on about.
No, he's saying Daihatsu Copen, good little classic car. And I agree, actually. They are very good little cars. A little Japanese key car.
Mm-hmm.
My IT teacher used to have one at secondary school.
My IT teacher had a Mini.
See, IT teachers are the cool ones.
Yeah. One of them had a Mini and my product design teacher had a Morris Traveller.
But yeah, I remember when I did my work experience at secondary school, my IT teacher was actually the one that was coming out to obviously check and get reports and all this other stuff from the.
I didn't have any.
What they would call as an employee. Wait, really?
No, nobody came to check on me.
Our school insisted that every single place that had a student from the school go to, they said a teacher must go at least on one day just to get a report to make sure you're actually turning up and doing all this other stuff. I mean, not to say everybody's terrible, but let's put it this way, there maybe were more people who were more likely to skip than others.
There was also 400 of us, so maybe to try and find the time to go and see 400 people in 2 weeks was a bit...
Possibly, whereas in my school,
challenge.
There was a bit less than that in my school. It was like maybe 40 children per year group class thing, and there were 6 of classes.
Well, like per tutor group.
Tutor group, that's the word.
There you go. So we had, there you go, for comparison, there was probably between 20, we had 23, and we were the smallest tutor group. There's 23 to 30 in every tutor group, and there was 12.
12 tutor groups? Yeah. Seriously?
In every year.
Well, there's only 6 of mine, so that puts into perspective, doesn't it? More rural life compared to more urban life.
Yeah, no, there's over 1,000.
Wow.
It was there was 1,800 people at the school. I think there's over 2,000 now.
I can't deal with those numbers.
No, it was quite a big school though. It was fine. It didn't feel ever too busy, apart from when you were all caught up in the maths corridor and everybody was joined up together. It was like, oh god.
Ian can't imagine cars of his childhood being classics. That's the thing.
Is that the the signification that you're old?
Maybe.
When you were born the same year as a car that's now classic. But then technically, if I think it was Nino said that insurers reckon 20 years. So if you think you're nearly 26, so anything that came out the year you were born and the year I was born, and right up until now, 2001. So I'm not far off saying 2005.
No, not at all.
So anything 2001 and previous is a classic, which is quite funny.
But yes, Carlos agrees the Renault 5 EV, that's a cool looking car. I really like it.
Yeah.
I think what will happen is Renault will essentially scrap the Zoe name, because the Zoe is a car.
They're still selling Zoes.
They are,
because there was one of them in the shopping centre yesterday when I went.
But the thing is with the Zoe is it's really not a bad car at all. The technology behind it is good. The range is good. I think it was Carwow did a test not long ago between the smaller super mini EVs like the Corsa E, the E208, the VW Up or E-Up.
E-Up.
Yeah, the Yorkshire one, as everyone seems to refer to it. In cars like that, of that sort of size, and spoiler alert, the Zoe won, and it was the closest to its actual on-paper range. I think it was only about 3 or 4 miles shorter than what it said on paper.
Well, they're quite nice. They're not a bad car.
But the things with the Zoe is compared to, say, things like the the E208, which I think is actually a really good-looking car myself. I really like them. But I think the Zoe sort of lacks compared to that. So I think Renault reintroducing the Renault 5 name, it brings a bit of nostalgia back for those who are interested, and it means they can essentially continue that model on, which did really well for Renault.
Yes.
Which I think is cool.
Matt's asked for a recap for the last half an hour. So
yes, Simone, before the recap. Simone, yes, there is a Renault 5 EV. Please do go and check it out. It's a stunning looking thing. I think Matt actually saw one at what's the name? The French car show we went to.
I don't know, I had it in my head until you said more.
Sorry.
Matt, help.
Type it down below.
What's it called? Retromobile. Thank you.
That's the one.
Do you have to put a French accent on?
Retromobile. Bonjour.
Mobile. Last half an hour.
Recap.
We haven't done very much car related. We've put out the 1K, 2K video. We've been doing life and readjusting to life beyond car shows.
And answering questions, not asking them. You're asking them.
We've shown off our debut in a magazine. And that's about it. That was pretty much the last half an hour. We've answered who our favourite singers are. Told everybody about the courtesy car and my car being a bit broken
and repaired
and being almost better. So yeah, that's your half an hour recap in 30 seconds. My IT teacher had a nearly new Defender 90 V8. Oh, nice choice. So that makes.
See, all the IT teachers just have cool cars.
IT teachers have good cars. My other IT teacher was like 6'9" and rode a bike, like as in a push bike.
I can't remember because we had 2 IT
just looked
teachers.
Really gangly. You only had 2. We had hundreds.
Really? We only had 2 IT teachers. Again, rural life. But yeah, Finley, their school insisted they have people turn up for work experience.
Well, I'm sure nobody ever came to see me.
No?
I think so. Maybe they couldn't be bothered to just go to a shop.
I remember once I ended up waiting for about 3 hours after the business closed because they closed early for when was it? Would it have been during the Olympics? It would have been, wouldn't it?
What, year 10? Yeah, probably. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah. During the Olympics, and there was a specific one on that the boss of the business wanted to go and watch that in the evening, so I had to wait 3 hours for my dad to come pick me up because I couldn't get home. There's no other way.
Oh, you don't get a bus?
No, there were no buses.
Oh,
no buses.
Did they all want to go and watch it as well?
Yeah. Evidently so, yeah. So I had to wait for about 3 hours for him to turn up and pick me up. He's like, "Oh, hello, have you been waiting long?" Yes, I have been. 3 hours.
I'd have walked.
I was tempted to, but the problem is there's nowhere to walk. It's all...
Was it close to your house? I can't have been close to your house. You can tell me after where it was. I was in Winchester, right in the centre of Winchester, in Cathkidson.
I was in a place called Shipton Bellinger.
Oh, I do know where that is. Okay. You could have walked from there. You could have started at least.
I know, but then because he doesn't answer his phone at work, I couldn't tell him I'd left, so I had no chance.
But you could have walked and you'd probably been home in 3 hours.
Well, keep walking and thumb a lift on the way home.
No, right, I'm going to look how long it would take. I won't show the people, but how long it would take you to get from there to your house.
Yes. Anyway, whilst you're doing that, Ian's discovered the cover art on Mini Magazine is a Northern Irish Mini as well. Quite an epic one. So I'm guessing that would be the red one. Red one. Obviously, there's quite a few cars on the cover, but red one. Main focus.
Oh, okay. You could maybe have not quite got home in 3 hours and 6 minutes.
Wasn't walking home. Not that fit. Believe it or not. Yeah. Apparently, I'm 20 years younger. By me.
Does that mean that means I'm 20 years younger as well? You're just a bit close to your birthday.
Well, that's true. That's the thing we were saying with our subscriber special, isn't it? With other channels, there are quite a few other channels that are actually even younger than we are.
Yeah.
Some of them don't even drive
but that's
yet.
the thing now. We're getting past the 8. Like when you look at things, it's like young insurers and stuff. We can't be insured on the like young insurer thing anymore because we're both over 25. Despite what people might think when they look at me and think I'm about 15. So no, I'm not.
Compliment.
I compliment you. Thank you. That was the person near my friend's house the other day. She was having a parcel delivered, and basically outside her house is a visitor space for the kind of 4 houses that are there. And the lady was having a parcel delivered, and the woman that was dropping the parcel off, it had alcohol or something in it, and she wouldn't give it to me because I didn't look old enough yet. I was just got out the car, so I was at least 17. Let's put it that way.
Oh dear!
But she wouldn't let me take it, so I had to. My friend lives sort of over the road. She had to take it instead.
I remember once when we did a graphics project at college. And it was go out and find some packaging that looks really, really jazzy, really cool, something that will attract the eye on a shelf. So naturally, being college, students, we went straight for the alcohol because actually
it appeals.
No, there is actually a surprising amount of alcoholic products that look really stand out.
Well, yeah, but it's also because it is interesting. It's like, it's fun, it's nice.
Yeah. I think things like elk warning, moose warning, something, a Swedish type of cider, something a bit like Record Lake, which personally one of my favourites.
Never heard of it.
No, but we had that. All of us bought alcoholic things because we thought, well, it's really good standout packaging, and the lecturer did as well. It wasn't just us. So they came out to get a few things, and the lecturer was the only one that was age ID'd. None of us were, just the lecturer.
Like 17, you were.
Yeah, and she was. I mean, bear in mind, she was quite a young lecturer. She was maybe same age I am now. When when I was about 17, 26. She was about 25, 26. But yeah, she was the only one to get age ID, and none of us at 17 or 18 were ID.
Bless you. I would have been.
I think the oldest person in our class was about 23, 24.
What did you look like when you were 17?
Like this, but with less beard.
Let's find a picture.
No, you won't find a picture on here because I've only pictures of me at 17 from this.
Facebook.
Have a look on Facebook. You got your phone. Have a look. I'll go through the comments. But the Zoe is supposed to be 245 miles now. I don't think it was that from the time when Carwell tested it. I think it was a little bit less, maybe 220 something miles, something like that. But Yeah, Renault are really improving with their battery technology, especially the EVs. Let's say the Zoe, I think personally, is one of the best EVs on paper, at least, on the market at the minute. But yeah, good little cars. And the VW Yorkshire now, I think. Well, people seem to say E up in a bit of a Yorkshire accent when they do that. But yeah, no, there isn't a Yorkshire model though, which is quite disappointing, really. I think there should be. That's a picture of me when I was learning to drive. You know exactly where that picture is.
I do know that is. It's in the Cotswolds.
Yeah. One of my friends did an
share it
edit
with
of that.
everyone.
Oh, go on, why not?
Here you go. That's a
My
slightly
embarrassing picture.
dodgy 17-year-old Jake. You can't really tell. You do look very similar. You are very similar, just with less beard.
There is actually different hubcaps on the Renault there.
Oh,
because the originals got stolen. And I have actually managed to acquire some more original ones, so they will probably go onto it when I eventually get it back up and running. Hooray.
See, 17-year-old me, though.
And Matt's old enough to be parents of both of us. Yes, he is.
Because you're old. No, you're not.
No, Genevieve's just being rude now.
No, he knows I'm joking.
But yeah, that puts it into perspective, doesn't it, a bit?
I could reveal myself not reveal myself completely. That sounds wrong.
It's like you commenting about my tent in the reveal. Well, 2,000 subscriber special. But yeah, Carlos was born in the same year as the Morris Marina. Let's hope no pianos land on you, eh?
I don't know what that year. I don't know what year that was.
1970 something, I think, off the top of my head. Please do remind us.
How old are you?
Yeah. But Matt saw the Renault 5 Retromobile, yes.
I was 20 then. Hang on, I need to go further back. 2014.
She's still trying to find pictures. Yeah, it was Retromobile, wasn't it? As we said earlier. Yeah, that's a show we need to go to as well. You and I've not been to France in years.
I last went to France when I was 10.
Last time I was 2012. Everything happened in my life in 2012.
I don't think I've got a picture of me when I was 17, you know. It's a bit sad. Well, I have, but not.
Matt says thank you, by the way, for giving an update on what's happened.
You're welcome.
Well, Nino shared birth year with the Cortina and the Triumph Vitesse. Had both, but not in the same year. Well, I was going to say it'd be quite a feat to get them the year you were born.
That's the only picture I've got of me when I was 17. Like you can see my face.
Oh,
there you go. I look pretty similar, except my hair colour's changed. It's my award-winning.
The only difference between me now and then, or only difference is hair related.
I've still got
less
those
here,
shoes.
More here.
I found those shoes under my bed yesterday when I was tidying.
Don't do that. I can't text anybody else.
No, that was when I was on the front page of Daily Echo.
Oh yes, happy as ever.
Happy as ever.
But yeah, IT teacher must have broken the mold with cool cars. He had a metallic brown Toyota Corolla with beige
Maybe it's
interior.
because they just spent all their time like
being IT
chilling
people.
in a small dark room.
Maybe. It's like, right, I need something that's
I need
really
something
going to
weird.
stand out. They were ahead of their time. A brown Corolla now is definitely retro cool. They are. They're really cool little cars now. Anything of that sort of era that's Japanese.
It wasn't brown. And I don't think it was the same era. It was probably a newer one.
Maybe newer. So no,
it must have been when I went shopping. And they just kept like seesawing it backwards and forwards into the space, and I just went straight in with my reversing cameras. It was brilliant.
God.
My form teacher had a 205 GTI.
Ooh, what engine? 1.6 or 1.9?
My tutor had a Citroen. Is it Picasso?
Picasso, yeah.
The ones with the flippy out tables
and the floor storage.
I didn't know it was floor storage.
Yeah, floor storage in those.
Yeah, that's
brilliant.
what my great uncle used to have. He had loads of them.
My aunt had one for many, many years. I used to love the underfloor storage in those. It's a great thing. It's a bit like
one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had one that colour.
I think my aunt Citroen actually still is around. She isn't, but the car is.
Picasso came with a trolley.
Trolley? Ooh, did it?
Did it? What, like a shopping trolley?
Maybe not a shopping trolley, maybe something that goes in the boot. Please do share or...
provide us with more information, please.
Yes,
please.
that's something I haven't heard of.
Do you like the 2001 Suzuki Wagon R? Have you missed that? Have you answered that?
I haven't answered that one yet, no. Suzuki Wagon R, I think they're good little cars, those. Quite different from anything else out there at the time. Do they share anything with the Swift at all of that era? I'm not quite sure on that era of Suzuki, I'm afraid. Do you know much about them at that time?
I don't know what it is.
No? I'll have a quick look.
Also, one other thing I'm going to mention while it's just popped into my head. Anybody that knows this software, website, whatever it is, to do the lives with different people all at the same time to make it kind of like a panel, I'm pretty sure... Is it Simone's done it? Said it before.
Yeah.
And we've always said we'll write it down, and I definitely think we've written it down on a scrap bit of paper somewhere. Could you please share that with us again? And we're going to look into it for the sort of end of year, not necessarily next month, but the end of year sort of special. Oh, those.
One of these, yes. So I was thinking of a completely different era of Wagon R. Yes, it's the one that looks extremely like the Vauxhall Agila. Or Agila, or however it's said. Agila. Agila. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? An artist. Sorry, is that wrong to say?
It's just random.
Yeah.
Like Shakira, is that you're singing it to the same tune?
You know
as
exactly
Shakira.
what I mean.
StreamYard, thank you very much.
There's someone actually who works somewhere not too far away from my work who's got a Suzuki Wagon R. They've completely slammed it, wide wheels, gone full on Bozo Zuko style with it, which I think is quite different. Quite cool, actually. I kind of like it.
Right, yes. And StreamYard we will look into for the end of the year.
Yes, hopefully we'll get a panel for the next live stream, so it won't just be us. It might be a few other people as well.
Maybe not next month. We'll give them December. Let's see.
Well, December,
We'll see what happens.
I keep thinking it's later in the year than it is. It is almost the end of November.
Live your life. Don't, wish your life away, because you'll be 26 by the next one.
Oh, I will be. Oh, no, I'll be a whole year older.
Be old.
Oh, well. Never mind.
It's all right. I like an older man.
Good.
Only 4 months older, though. 4 months and 2 days. Anyway, let's go back. The Bilingo came with the
trolley as well.
Excellent. So I'm going to assume you mean like trolley, like your nan might take shopping, not like shopping trolley.
Possibly something like that,
I don't know.
A dolly trolley. A little one behind. I'll have to look this up.
It was a 1.9.
1.9.
I'm getting my numbers around the wrong way.
The one everyone wanted. Hee.
Yes, that type of trolley. Yes, I think.
Yes.
My nanny had one of them.
Did she?
Yeah.
My nan doesn't. She's got like the front pushy one. It's really
she's got. It's like a wheelie, isn't it? But she carries. Does she put the bags on the wheelie?
She has a bag on the wheelie to put stuff in, but she never puts stuff in it.
Yeah, she does. Does she put her shopping in it? She
puts her banana on it. She puts a little bit on more in it, I think. Anyway.
That's not a quick update. That's like paragraphs. Right. Matt says, I can't stick around too long, so here's a quick fleet update from me. I'll film an update for us, Fuel Power, ASAP on this. Fitted £1,500 worth of parts to my Touareg, and that's back in service for tow. Yeah, but that's like one bit for the Touareg, isn't it?
It is quite an expensive car.
Hugo, the alternator bracket arrived from Italy today, and I have a new alternator ready to fit with it, and some new front struts too. Paseo.
Said
so good,
sold to a local friend as a first car for this.
Well, that's a cool first car. I quite like that.
Speaking of which, we might have a review on one of those coming up fairly soon, and not Matt's one.
No,
because that's gone. I haven't had a chance to review it yet.
I bought an R53 Mini Cooper S last week. Audi A, which was the mega collection caper. Audi A6 now due a service. My 4 classic minis are all in the unit now. Trying to decide what to work on, and one is a breaker.
Excellent.
Best room my garage at home to be stripped and rebuilt over winter. More parts from Italy coming for that. I think Matt's got a time turner, and he won't know that reference, but I think he's got one.
I think he does.
And we'll leave it at that. We won't divulge any more information. We'll leave him wondering. But thank you for that, Matt, and we will speak to you soon, I'm sure.
Big old update. But yeah, the Wagon R was a tall format car, a bit like the Matiz and Yaris Verso. Bit of a fad at the time. Good cars, though, from what I've heard of them. I don't know many people with them, but I've heard things that aren't exactly been bad about them. Been reliable from what I heard.
What you heard?
No, what I heard.
What
No,
you
what I
heard?
heard. It was meant to say, but the D. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there
You lost the D.
before I get taken out of context.
Oh dear.
But yeah, not bad little cars. Quite like the Vauxhall. I prefer its styling personally. I think the Wagon R looks slightly strange because it had like the indent in the tailgate for a number plate, but the number plate wasn't there. It was in the lower bumper. It's a weird design choice, but yeah.
It says 14 people with us this evening. Did you realize?
Well, I did just
13. One's on my head.
Shouldn't have said anything.
Sorry, it might be Matt. He said he needed to go.
Maybe. Can I Vespa Matt?
It's a very unique request, Carlos.
Can I review Matt? That's it. Yeah, you've had an Ignis, a Celerio, which you've still got, an S-Cross, an SX4, an Alto. Sora Wagon are owned by my neighbour from New, as her husband bought it for her before he died. It's a nice present. It's a nice present, but
I'm going to die now. Here, have a car.
I'm not sure.
Please don't do that to me.
Not...
You'll buy like a pile of rubbish, and I won't know what to do with it.
Pile of rubbish.
You will, because you'll pick some sort of 90s,
Want to be a troll.
late 80s, early 90s thing that you call a gem, and it's horrible.
I don't know what you're trying to say about my taste in cars. I don't think she likes my taste in cars. Apart from Millie. Everyone likes Millie. You like the C5 though, in fairness.
I do like the C5. I've wanted a C5 for longer than you've wanted a C5. So, what are you trying to say, Matt?
A Maestro. Trying to work out what's the question there, Nina? I'm not quite sure what you're asking.
The kind of car that you would buy.
Oh,
I'm assuming.
Oh, I see. I'm with you now. Sorry, Matt's off. I'll see you, Matt. It's nice having you here, even though it's actually been quite brief tonight, but it's still nice to see you join in.
And we will reply to your messages that you sent us earlier, just to let you know.
Yes. Are all Passeos Gullwing? One of the lads in my upper sixth class in school had a Gullwing grey imports. Is it Gullwing or full wing? Was it? Because I thought the Passeo or Paseo was just normal opening door. I thought
Matt's replied there. No, Passeo is Gullwing. That's the
Sarah. I was going to say I thought it was that. That's what confused me.
I was going to say, I'm sure Matt's was just normal doors, wasn't it?
I mean, they're both Toyotas, but yeah, it's the Sarah that's got the
Gullwing like
DeLorean. Yeah.
Very inconvenient in a supermarket car park.
Very, but cool.
Oh yeah, cool, but inconvenient. That one that parked next to us the other day in Salisbury was the best one, where its back doors opened. Was it the Mariva?
Oh, the Mariva, yeah.
That was the best for a supermarket car park. That's the best kind of car, where all the doors open like
suicide type doors on the back end. Yeah. No, they're good little cars, the
Very
Mariva.
clever design.
I think they're based on the Astra platform, with memory serves. Please someone let me know otherwise.
He's quoting things he doesn't know for sure now. I'm intrigued as to how bright our skeletons have got. Should we turn the lights off and see? Just
give it a try. But yes, Nino, likelihood is I would probably come back with something like a Maestro or a Metro or a Fiesta of that era.
Yeah, please don't do that.
But just saying though, the Fiesta, pretty much any of them are going to be classics now because of the obviously most recent announcement Ford have given regarding it. Maybe we should make a video about that. The demise of the Fiesta. Anyway, lights off. Well, it's kind of worked.
Lit by the
laptop. Yeah. But you haven't noticed we've had these little lights on the whole time.
Yeah, I've Halloweened the scenery as well. Next year we'll go all out.
Yeah, definitely.
I know one thing I am going to ask.
We'll have pumpkins in here.
Should we put the lights back on?
Yes. You control your home, your phone.
But no, one thing I will ask, as we've got a couple more live streams and obviously a couple of months left before the end of the year, and it's something that we were talking about today, in fact, is in preparation for the new year, is there anything that you, as some of the kind of most frequent attendees of live streams and also
viewers,
frequent watchers of the videos, and some of the ones that most interact with the content. I mean, Nino likes everything. Nico likes stuff on Facebook too, but Nino likes everything on Facebook. Like he's like one of the first ones. He's hot on there to like everything, and it's brilliant. Is there anything that you would like to see us do in terms of car stuff?
It's a good question. Yes, please let us know.
Yeah, please, we'd like to, and we will write it down, take pictures of your comments and whatever. And
I mean, we're always trying to make content that not only we enjoy, because we think those are the best videos, the ones that we enjoy the vehicle we're looking at most.
But it might also be that you've got an idea that we haven't even thought of, that it's like, that would be a good plan.
Yes, exactly. But whilst people are thinking, typing, let's have a quick look back.
I think we've only got...
Building Sarah. That's what you had then, the Sarah. Not really much of a 90s Jap car anorak. Fair enough.
I don't blame you.
No, I mean, I didn't.
Where's Amber when you need her? Hey.
I didn't really know much about many Japanese cars before, really, that recently. It's only been the last couple of years I've really started to, I guess, understand the Japanese car. Especially growing up in the era when you had things like the Fast and Furious films on. Yeah. Which, of course, featured Japanese cars extremely heavily, especially things like the Skylines and the Supras and the like. But, it's quite good to see the content channels such as Mighty Car Mods come up with. Because, of course, many of the cars they get in Australia, they are Japanese cars now. Because, of course, Japan quite close to Australia compared to other countries. So it's good to see what they've got in comparison to what we've got over here. And some of the cars that go over there are absolutely lovely. I'd love to go to Australia just for the car scene. Yeah. And New Zealand as well. I mean, I know Ian Seabrook, he went over to New Zealand a couple of years ago. And he had a really good time over there. I'd like to go out and experience that country as well. Not just for the cars, but the country looks beautiful as well. What's The Hobbit? I'm going to say that, but... But yeah, I won't find the Hobbit out there, but...
you can go to the Hobbit houses
there.
They're set and stuff.
See, that's the point. Yeah, the Maestro 1.3, one of the last cars to have the A-Series. Was it? It might have been the last, I guess, newer car, but I thought the Mini was the last A-Series car when it ended production in 2001.
Pretty sure. Know. You're looking at me. I've got no clue.
I think the Maestro ended about mid-90s.
I only knew that Minis had A-Series engines from last June. Prior to that, they had engines.
Well, they had A-Series from last June, did they?
No, I found out they had them.
They did actually experiment with a K-Series in the original Mini, but it was only a very short period of time because being Rover, they ran out of money. Which is, I'm afraid, a very typical story from Rover of that era.
Right, next bits. Will the Fiesta used prices go up?
Yes, probably.
Yes, of course they will.
They're very popular
well done
cars.
If you've got a Fiesta. If you don't, don't try and buy one now.
Especially the older ones. I mean, the Mark 1 values are quite high up at the minute anyway.
An influx of them at like Radwood next year.
Probably to say goodbye. Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I can't remember what date it is they are going out of production. But Radwood's... They had one Fiesta I know was there. And that belonged to Sean on Twitter, who I follow.
Oh, Sean Hudson.
Yeah. That was his car. I think that was the only Fiesta there. There were quite a lot of Japanese cars there, actually. Radwood, an event I'd definitely recommend. We're hoping to go again next year. Maybe take the C5.
It's to Heritage this year, wasn't it?
Maybe take the C5. We shall see. Not just the C5, because it would be a bit of a long way.
Oh God, yeah. Could you imagine your legs would be knackered by the time you got there?
Yeah. Review a 2CV. Absolutely would love to. Need to find someone with one.
You've got that person down the road from your
house. Yes.
Get in contact. That's the thing we're going to set ourselves the challenge of. It's slightly a confidence thing, I think. But
that's one thing we both struggle with. You less so.
I think it depends on.
It depends on the situation.
Yeah, it does depend on the situation. I'm not being rude. I am writing down your ideas just to let everybody know.
Teenage girl style,
yeah. I think generally I've got an element of confidence in terms of speaking when I know what I'm talking about, which is why I'm a lot more comfortable on things like this, because it's just a little bit more random. Whereas to build up the courage to do the review took me a good 2 days.
Yeah.
And for things like SMMT Day, although I've been to 2 separate SMMT Day events, the national and the southern regional one, I haven't been a driver because I've not got the confidence to drive the cars. Whereas I think having the courtesy car has pushed me into doing it and having a go. And that was also part of the reason why I didn't put Jake and my dad and my mum and everybody else on the insurance sort of side of things to force me to drive it, because I couldn't say, we'll go out in it, but you drive kind of thing. It was, let's go out in it, and obviously I have to drive. So I think looking ahead to the national SMMT Day in April, May time next year, I will be more likely to want to do that. So I think that's where my confidence lacks, is my car knowledge and my car driving confidence. But again, I have only been driving for
a few years.
This December I will have passed. That will be 3 years past. So I'm kind of 7 years behind you.
Sorry, just going back up.
Whereas you're speaking to people is
once
your
I
lack
get
of
going.
confidence. But it's initiating conversation, I think, for you. Whereas I can initiate the conversation, but keeping it going is the bit that I struggle with, because I don't have enough knowledge.
I'm the opposite.
So we need to be together in order to have a conversation. I'll start it off and then you keep going, so it's fine. But we're getting there, and I think we've said right from the beginning that this year has been a bit of a.
It's been a good year for doing that, actually.
But it's been a bit of an experiment and a bit of an idea of what we can give as a brand, as a couple, as in a pair, not, we don't tend to walk around holding hands or whatever.
Hi.
To things like that anyway. But I think it's been a bit of an experiment, and we've established where we sit as obviously now
the strengths and weaknesses lie.
But also where we sit in terms of
official.
Everybody else. Also, it's not weaknesses, it's things to work on.
Oh, sorry.
But it's things like, say, for the car things we've known, like from SMMT, we've then gone ahead and contacted them, like the individual car companies, and thanked them. And we now have established that we are still too small a channel to kind of get anything from those main companies, but there's nothing stopping us working down the tracks a little bit and going to more local dealerships or something like that. That would maybe mean we could work more directly with them, and that's something we're looking into doing, but we haven't quite got there yet.
Speaking of which, with those things, although they haven't outright said no, never, they just said no, now's not necessarily the right time, which is fine. That's how things go.
Nobody's ever said no, never again. Don't darken our doorstep. But at the moment, everybody that we've contacted has just said, not right now. Come back to us when you in a year or something like that. Which, provided that we keep it going, put more content out there, share more, and all that kind of thing, we might be there by this time next year. Which for us is fine. Obviously, we've touched on it quite a lot this evening. Is we are also quite a bit younger than quite a lot of the YouTubers who are at the moment getting those types of things. So we've already had conversations, and we use the driving home from shows and stuff as the opportunity to sort of say, well, in 20 years time, everybody who's now in their sort of 40s and 50s who won't want to be doing it when they're like 70, or they won't want it as a job because they'll have kind of done that bit, we can take over them, which sounds like a long time away, but
it sounds horrible as well, but
no, but it's not in a horrible way. But I don't think. I mean, I know that I won't want to be doing this with this much, because I think that's the thing. Obviously, quite a lot of you guys do understand, because you do make the content as well. But generally, even talking about our parents, they don't understand the amount of effort that goes in behind the scenes. It's just like the video that appears. It's. I don't think I'll be wanting to do this when I'm in my 70s. God,
no, I'm doing something else by then.
I want to enjoy my life, sort of. It's that kind of thing. But it's all about progression and moving on, isn't it? And I think also because we will have established ourselves for such a long time, in 20 years, it'll be like, oh yeah, they're like old hat, you know, they know exactly what they're doing. And I mean, even SMMT Day now, that's, you know, you've ticked 2 regionals off and a national, and I've done a national and a regional in the first year I've been doing it. So that's not, we're not doing too badly.
But just as an additional point as well, this year, I think it's pretty safe to say things happened a lot quicker than we planned.
Yeah.
Especially with obviously subscriber numbers. I know that was obviously massively helped out by Ian giving the channel a shout out at Hubnut, and of course Matt buying the sauna, and people coming around from Hubnut to see the sauna, which factually not a lot's really happened with it since, because it takes time.
Yeah,
it's a big project.
We've had people who've come over for the sauna and stayed for everything else, which is lovely. And I don't know if any of these people are any of those, but you know, or whether they've been around since the beginning. But you know, do let us know. We will eventually scroll down.
Yes.
Hang on, don't scroll too quickly though.
That's fine. Just going to this point. Shall I go on to the next bit, or?
Ooh. Top Gear style race. I like all of these.
Yes, we do need to do a race of some sort. Yes, definitely. And an oil change challenge.
Can I go on a train? You can drive a car, and I'll go on a train.
What, to Paris or something?
Oh god.
Bonjour, Paris.
Yeah, I'd have to get to London. Well, that's not too bad. 2 hours from Southampton to Waterloo.
Would you ever do a Tom? Sorry, that's what you just read, isn't it? Carson's bike with Genevieve.
We could get to Northern Ireland. You can get to Northern Ireland the quickest. Can you meet us there, Ian?
Shall we get cars to go on Matt's 50cc's Vespa?
Well,
it's the only way to make the challenge fair.
The superbike.
Because he can filter on that. Oh, the Super 73. Yeah, that'd be funny. That's together. That'd be good fun. Nikki, a race to Paris, me on public transport, and the youngsters in the Fiat.
Oh, can we go together? That's all right. We'll share the driving. You can do the motorway.
Well, Neo's asking how the C5's coming along. Nothing's happened to it since the party, really. I honestly haven't had the space in the garage to actually just work on it.
No, you're doing a lot of.
We've had a lot of work
at
home, which has meant the garage has been full.
We're all having work done at home. Yeah. My dad's knocked the back of the house down and built it bigger, so you know.
Sorry,
yours is all outside. Ours is all inside.
Yeah,
we'll get there in the end.
We've had a lot of work outside the house lately, and most of the building materials and tools and things like that have been in the garage. It's all gone now, but stuff like that has been in the garage, all knocked away, and I just haven't had the space to work on the C5 or the Caravan or the Mini or the Fiat lately. So it's just because obviously it's getting darker earlier now. I haven't had the chance to film in the evenings either, which maybe otherwise I would have done in the garage.
Yeah.
But obviously had I had
we
space.
Basically need to have 6 months of the year working really, really hard and 6 months doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because of the weather.
Yeah, but hopefully before too much longer I should be clearing out the garage a bit, and that should mean the C5 project can properly begin. At the minute it is no different from how it was at the party. It's basically just being kept out of the way at the minute,
it's
not
rolling,
being worried about
nothing more.
Yes, but as I say, hopefully, fingers crossed with that, it should be begun soon or underway.
Yes.
And how do we sort insurance for reviews? Shall I answer that, because it's me who does it?
You do them. The only review I've filmed is obviously a car that I'm covered on in terms of courtesy car. So
usually when I do or have done reviews in the past, because really this year we have not done many. The only 2 reviews I've put up this year have been Tom's Abarth 500 and your dad's Land Rover as well. And those are the only 2 that we've done this year so far.
Mm-hmm.
There
but
might
they
be
were
a few
both
others
in the way that you have always done it, whereas now it has changed for you, hasn't it?
Yes. But at that time, I had to go through temporary insurance cover, which is arguably the easiest and quickest way to get it sorted.
Yeah.
Usually pay about £10 for something silly like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, just to give an idea of costs for anybody who's maybe thinking about doing something like that.
It does depend though, because I've had Mum's car for, I think it was 24 hours, and that was about £24. So I think it does. It
varies on where you live.
Yeah, and I think it does decrease
etc.
how much time you've got it as well. Like it will have a set amount for the first hour or 2.
True, but when you think about it, you said you paid what? How much was it again? Sorry.
About £24.
24 to drive your mum's car for 24 hours.
Yeah.
You see, I paid pretty much the same as that for a Ford Transit, so I could drive it to Wales and back in a day.
Yeah.
So shared driving, but it was easier if 2 of us went.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that's how we did insurance previously.
Cover, and I still have to do that.
So. Now, though, things might have changed with that because of my insurance policy, because previously it was done whilst I was 24 and I wasn't able to get cover on cars like that. Now I'm 25. Well, I have been 25 for quite some time.
Yeah.
But now that the cover's caught up with me being 25, shall we say, I am now allowed to drive cars third party with permission, basically. So that may allow a bit more of an opening, I guess, with reviews. But we shall see with that. As I say, it's just something I need to experiment a little bit with first. Just check out all the details, make sure there's no fine print that's going to say, yes, we cover you, unless ...
Yeah.
But hopefully that can make a change. And if that's not the case, then I'll just keep using temporary cover. As for things like SMMT, when you sign up for that, you are automatically insured for it as long as you say, yes, I'd like to be a driver. You have to obviously do the usual things like send over driving license information and just say how many years, no claims, all this other stuff that you usually have to put. And then as soon as you go up there, as long as you're wearing the lanyard with your card on it that says driver name, you are then covered by the companies that are doing it, because it's press companies, basically. As long as they've got your details on file, you are covered.
And also for the national one, most of it is on private land anyway.
Yes. So, whereas the regional days is more public driving.
Yeah, a lot more public driving.
So
is there a course? There is a course off of the out on the roads at the national, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah, but most of it is on. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't want to go on the roads, you wouldn't have to. You could quite comfortably stay on the private land. But say, for example, when we've been to the SMMT days, you've had one, like you said, with driver on it, and mine has said non-driver. Like it's
Media
very clear, very explicit as to who's what.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we were joined by Ben this year, who's under 21, and again that was another thing.
You might remember Ben from the party there, because he was there as well.
Yes.
He was the one who turned up in the Volvo towards the end of the day.
Yes.
But just last thing on the insurance front, when we come to do cars with brands, I guess, such as the MGs I've already done. Whenever I got the MGs previously, it was through Joseph Lloyd. He'd have the car for a week under his agreement that he'd got with MG, and he'd bring it up to me for afternoon or something, or an evening, just depends on what we were both doing on that day, and I'd review the car at that point. But when Joseph got all signed off to say, yes, I'm having whatever model of MG on this day, or from this time period, he would ask, can I also insure this person or these people if other people are going to review that same car in that same time frame? And MG were actually really very, very cooperative with that. They were really good with that. So
saves them half the job, doesn't it, if they get it done there and then, and it's shared with different people as well.
So that's how the insurance works. It's quite, I guess, long. It's a long answer because there's a lot to it depending on who you're looking to review a car with. Private sellers, you get the picture. I won't go over it again.
Basically, it's getting easier, but up until now, it's been quite tricky.
Yes, which is why there haven't been a huge amount of reviews. Main reviews on the channel have been just press cars. But not many privately owned cars. I still need to review my own fleet. The only car I've done so far is the Renault. No, I'm done, and yours. I haven't done the Panda. I haven't done the Mini. Sandero.
You've attempted the Sandero.
I've attempted the Sandero, but things just kept going wrong, so I'm just going to redo that. C5 can't do. It's not ready yet. But one day it will be. I'd like to get an original one, though, because mine won't be original at all.
Let's go to this one.
Yes. But yes, thank you, cars. I will maybe ask you for certain people's cars if you're able to, just to touch on that. But yes, Ian, Mini was the last Mini. I'll start again. Mini was the last car to use the A series engine. Yes, it was. Whereas the Maestro was the last car put into production with the A series. I guess that's the best way of describing it. Do you understand that?
No, but that's fine. I'm sure everyone else will. I'm just a bit silly. Oh, hello. Maybe Ian would let you review Ellie.
Oh,
Who's
maybe.
Ellie?
2CV.
Oh, I didn't know.
Sorry, I didn't know my voice about that. Yeah, Ellie is the 2CV, but at the minute I don't think Ellie's on the road.
We'll have a chat. I'll message Carly and ask.
Yeah, they've had a lot of They've been quite busy as well with their adventures going off to shows this year. From
They've done a lot
what I
of
gather.
camping as well. They've been very busy
So I don't think they've had a lot of time to work on their fleet. I mean, I know most recently their attention has been on Chemi the Charade.
They've done a lot of selling as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they've sold 3-4 different vehicles now.
Yeah, I think so.
They're going through them quite quickly. It's actually really impressive to see the fact that Ian is actually depleting the fleet.
Selling it, yeah.
Because we know how much he loves his cars. But there does, I guess, come to a point where you have to say,
enough.
There's too much.
Get more. Good idea. I'm back. Internet cut out. Oh, that's a shame. Came for the sauna and I have no plan of leaving. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Finley. Maestro 1.3 was from 1983 until 1993. You can mention...
we did mention that in the 1,000, 2,000 subscriber special, you know. Gotta make it sound like I'm a police officer or something. How would you know?
Yes, we are. There is definitely potential for us as a channel to work with J&M electrobikes.
Electrobikes, they are, yeah.
So I think obviously that being bikes is Carlos's domain and will be something that we will have to sort of, I suppose, better converse with him over. But feel free to write your plans down, Carlos. I'm sure they can read it anyway. So yeah.
I think realistically we're looking maybe next year before you see much bike content from there.
Oh, definitely because of the weather, but
because obviously it's now getting into winter. The days are going to get wetter and saltier and icier.
Yeah, and it's not safe. We don't want anybody to be in danger of injury.
No, the thing is as well, because as the name suggests, J&M electrobikes. The bikes are electric things. And we know electric vehicles can be incredibly powerful little things.
Yes.
There's much high torque in that, obviously. But yes, the thing is as well with electric motorbikes especially, there's no noise to them.
No.
I've known a few people who ride, conventional motorcycles, now combustion ones. And I've had a lot of comments from them who've all basically said, I put a loud exhaust on my bike because they don't hear you otherwise. So it's quite interesting to see how that works with an electric motorbike.
I am also quite concerned, having worked with children and people who are visually impaired. I'm quite concerned about the electric cars from that aspect, and electric bikes from that aspect.
I know electric cars, when they're driving under, I think about 20 or 30, depending on the manufacturer and legislation in whatever country they're in. They do have to emit some sort of noise under 20 or 30 miles an hour, but it's really not that loud.
But if you think about, say, if you were outside a school and all the mums and dads are there and all the children and blah, 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 you're not going to hear a car if you can't see, can you? It's sort of... That's the only concern. I look at it from a slightly different perspective because of that.
Yes, you do. But, meanwhile... Finally fitted the Kawasaki engine back in the bike after 5 years. Yeah, you should be pleased. That's a really big achievement, especially after 5 years. But it's a long time to keep a vehicle off the road. I'd love to... that's my phone.
Sorry. Just adding to the list. People are writing.
I've had the... speaking obviously from personal experience, I've had the Renault off the road now for not even a full year yet. And I miss it. I want to drive it again, but I know I can't, legally or driving it.
Choked up.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, my voice is going a bit.
Because you haven't done that much talking.
Yeah, I know. But I do miss it. I have, although, driven it around the yards very, very slowly because, of course, it's private land. I can do so, but I don't really want to drive it that far in case the suspension fully collapses.
Yeah. Kind of dragging its bottom around.
Yeah, pretty much. Although I do have solutions to that there in the fact that the owners have got tractors with buckets in, so at least we could lift the back end up, but I'd rather not,
Yeah, we'll get it sorted though. It will be something that will happen, just not right now.
Yeah.
Ian's going to meet us at the finish line at Belfast if we go to Northern Ireland on our race.
Okay. No idea what are we all going to do? Meet at the port and just be like, well, I won. It's like, no, first one to get off the ferry.
Hunted.
Oh,
where
yeah.
They will have to get to a particular point. You could all see who can get to the thing first, and then we just go over on the boat and then meet Ian for a bit of a Northern Irish adventure.
Yeah.
It was a horrible noise out of my throat. I'm sorry.
Strange noise. In the Traveller with the C5 on top. Yes, perfect combo. Yeah. We still need to come over and see your Traveller and C5 combo. I mean, you've seen my picture of the Mini I've sent to you more privately, I guess, but not like that. Dirty-minded.
Sprawled over the Mini.
But yeah, we need to plan something like that. Maybe bring Millie with the C5 over when that's all done.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be a good adventure.
Let's have a little holiday.
Yeah, that'd be good fun.
You got a spare room, Ian?
Hopefully. If not, we'll take the caravan with the C5 in it.
I could be a babysitter. That's fine.
You could be.
I'll do that.
Yeah, you could be. Yeah. Yeah, Nino does remember Ben.
Yeah, Ben's lovely. It was a complete surprise to see him at SMMT Day. He was in absolute element, wasn't he? It was brilliant. It was like it was like full of excitement.
Yeah, he works for Classic Retro and Modern, for anybody who doesn't know or didn't meet him on the day, or obviously wasn't there. But he works for the magazine Classic Retro and Modern, so he obviously came along to get a bit of experience with the automotive new side of things, I guess.
He's also like the most grown-up 19-year-old I think I've ever met in my life.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant. Really nice guy as well. But no, we spent most of the day talking with the PR departments from the various manufacturers, because being 19, he wasn't able to drive any of the cars because you had to be 21 or over to drive anything.
Did he go in something with you?
He came in the Volvo with me and Joseph.
I knew he did because I was waiting.
Yeah.
Basically, we were in a queue for about 3 or 4 different cars all at the same time, and I was waiting eagerly for the key to something.
Yeah. So Ben came with Classic Retro and Modern, and the people he was there with didn't turn up until a bit later on in the day. But he got there quite early. So we just said to him, well, we know who you are. Do you want to come with us for a little bit and just have a go at some of the cars? Thought it'd be nice.
And also because it was his first time, we kind of showed him around.
Yeah. So hopefully he gained a bit of experience from that, and hopefully we helped somebody else out in the magazine industry, I suppose.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I think he's just been loaned an engine for the 2CV. I'm assuming that's
Ian.
Oh, hello, Ian.
Yes. I would assume so. So it'd be good to see Eddie back and running. I know Eddie's one of his favourites, along with Tuck. Ian the car.
I know.
You do, because every time I say it, you're like, which one?
I know that one now. It's like I've made it my mission in the last week because I kept getting Sanderos and Dusters confused. So on my mission to work, bearing in mind I'm spending an hour in the car on the way there and about 40 minutes on the way home at the moment. Apart from this week because it's been half term. But I've been, every time I've seen a Dacia of any description, I've been trying to work out which one it is from the front without looking. And I think I've mastered it now.
I remember though when we saw the jogger the other week, and do you remember that? Coming back from town, we saw the jogger and it's like, jogger!
Oh, in real life?
Yeah.
That's what we should have done today, gone to the...
The only other time we've seen one has been
on the ferry.
On the ferry port,
Jersey.
yeah. Waiting for somebody, presumably in Jersey, to pick it up. Or go to the dealership to then be picked up. But yeah, first time we've seen one on the road. I was quite excited by it. I like the jogger. It's basically all the car you'll ever need.
We're going to have a look into looking at one, though, aren't we?
Not to buy now.
No, but look at having a go in one, even just for a test drive.
I'd like to. They're great little cars. Yeah, Finney's going to have to go.
If you haven't already gone,
but
thank you for coming to say hello.
Thank you for joining in. To review my original and standard C5 when you come to Northern Ireland. Thank you, Ian. I would love to do that.
As when you come to high, and I
come to national insurance.
I was like, come to high.
Come to high. Well, come to say hi, I guess.
Yeah. A 100-mile road trip, but Matt said we can use any of the bikes.
Perfect. It's great to see that Matt of J&M wants to actually get on board.
I was going to say Matt's only got.
No, not Vespa, man.
I got confused. Too many Matts.
Not Vespa,
too many Matts,
Matt
too many Ians.
Yeah, as we said in the subscriber video, everyone in the car scene is either called Ian, Matt, or their name starts with a J, as it turns out, evidently. Yeah. We know a lot of people with those names, so it's sort of a running joke, I guess.
Modern cars, all we hear...
Tire noise is all you hear anyway.
That's true, yeah.
Especially with an electric car.
The course is pretty quiet, I must admit.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make much noise.
I will say the Panda's been a lot quieter since I put new tyres on that a couple of weeks ago. It's actually really changed in how it performs. It's really very nice. It was never terrible to begin with, but it's quieter, it handles better, the grip's considerably better on it. And the suspension's actually, that's really changed. That's the biggest change out of anything.
I've only been in it once since it's gone.
I know you have been. It's not been on quick roads either, particularly. But you did say actually at the time that you noticed a small difference in it.
Yeah, a little.
In
but
suspension
it's
more
not.
than anything.
It's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't long enough to notice a significant difference.
Yeah.
Engine's got a replacement engine for Ellie. I think planned to be done soon. Cool. On bikes, speaking as 500k plus rider, they never see you anyway, so silence not really for true.
Well, there we go then. What about a race from Land's End to John O'Groats? Potentially.
It's a potential, but I do think sometimes, as much as it's a good idea, I think it's kind of an overdone idea, isn't it? Everybody always goes, "Oh, let's go from the end to the other end."
It has been done quite a lot, so maybe
go from side to side.
It's not something to write out, but maybe it's something we could think about doing.
Cornwall to Kent.
I will say they did quite a good idea with that challenge on Top Gear a few years ago when they went from Land's End to what was it called? It's the most easterly point in the UK, but they did it on the shortest night of the year. I thought that was a really good challenge.
So like
it went as soon as the sun went down. It was Clarkson driving a Jaguar. He said, "Right, sun's gone down. Now I have to get to the most easterly point in England. This is, or even possibly the UK. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Probably is the UK because
probably
England's wider than Scotland.
Probably, and." He said, "I've got to get there before the sun comes up." That was quite a good race, actually. Anyway,
yeah, all good ideas, but
how
I
about
think we need to
reviewing a Mark III Cortina estate? Well, there we go. There's an idea. We could review that. Not so subtle. Not so subtle there.
It gets us travelling around the country a little bit as well.
It does. We do actually have a Granada to review as well.
We've got a list as long as our arm. What we need
do.
to do
We
is
just
start
haven't
booking people in.
Found the time. Maybe over winter. This is going to be a really long winter.
Yeah, the winter's going to be about 6 years long.
Yeah, at this rate.
Finish line will be at the Titanic. Oh, I've just had an idea what we could do.
Who can get to America without sinking?
No. Finish line will be at the Titanic Museum. We've got the Sea City Museum in Southampton, which is also all about the Titanic. So we could go from Titanic Museum to Titanic Museum.
Southampton.
It's where it started.
Yeah, I mean, it set off on this voyage, and obviously Belfast is where it was built.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea for a race.
There we go. Well done, Ian. Gold star to you, in fact.
Give you a very specific point to one.
No, I did have some over there.
I was going to say, one idea we could have had, switch fastest from Belfast to Southampton, Southampton to Belfast. Is that something? It's an idea.
Yeah, but then you never actually get to see anyone.
No, it's true.
Because if Ian came here and we went to Belfast, we'd be swapping over.
No, it's true.
See him somewhere on the M6, like,
bye! We'd think something really different for a race. Links don't seem to work in the chat. Oh. Is that links that we put on? Or?
We haven't put any.
Oh. What about a relay race with the other YouTubers on here? See, that's something we actually were discussing, wasn't it?
Get all around the country.
Yeah. That's something we could do. That is something we could possibly do, actually. Have to look into it and obviously see who'd be interested, but definitely an idea. No, speaking of reviews, is there any cars that you'd like to review either later this year or early next year or something? Before show season sort of kicks off again? We would do. The thing is as well, if you did a challenge like that just whilst you're thinking.
Sorry, yeah, okay.
If we did a challenge like that with other YouTubers, you could potentially do part 1, Fuel Power, part 2, other person, part 3, other person, so on. They can have a part on their channel as well. Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea, collaborative efforts.
Turn it into a film.
I quite like that.
2.5 hour long mega movie.
Yeah.
Get it at the BFI next year.
See, Nino's got an idea. Send something like a cake from one end of the country to the other by passing it between YouTubers.
Yeah, Matt would love that.
Yeah.
But see, what you could do is say, because of where we are, we could head over, or no, tell you what, we could give it to Kev.
On the Isle of Wight.
On the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
He could start with it, have to get it over all the way around the country. It has to go into every single county via a YouTuber.
So every county in the UK?
Yeah.
So
Wales included, you've got a bit skin on your lip.
Thank you.
And in every county in the UK, and then all the way around via YouTubers. Even it could hop over. You need to be ready.
You have to do it before it goes stale.
Ready to catch it, Ian. and then all the way back down again.
Yeah, so if you want to stand on the dock while somebody's on the ferry, like, right, catch! Just chuck it off. There's an idea. Carl suggests spare part for a YouTuber's car. Yeah. A new axle for Random again.
I was going to say, yeah, could you get a...
Maybe. Gratefully accepted.
I wonder what you could do.
I don't know. What cars would you like to review next year? Not necessarily new, but just any car, if possible.
I don't know.
I'd quite like to have a go in some 1980s Hondas.
I don't really have an affinity with a car, though. That's the thing. No, because I'm not massively into it. In case you hadn't, clocked that.
No, I had clocked that, but
I like a car. Don't get me wrong, but
I know one video I'd quite like to make. So you got this, I guess, smaller, hot, warm hatches. I guess you could call it a Fiat of the.
A warm hatch.
Yeah, it's a technical term.
Is it okay?
Yeah. Like you got the Panda 100 HP. I'd like to maybe get that versus a Seicento Sporting versus Cinquecento Sporting. That'd be a good, fun little challenge.
Yeah, I don't think I have any particular car that I'd want to drive. But again, I'd be happy to give it a go. Now, yeah. I think I've got to be used to it.
As a review, though, I'd quite like to maybe get the Panda together, like the classic boxy Panda.
Yeah.
My generation of Panda, and then the latest, well, maybe not the latest, but the 312 Panda as a comparison, but also to review them. So
I like the older ones. I'll drive the newer things. You can have the older ones. You can have the classics pre-2001. How about that? And I'll take the new things.
Yeah. I'd also like to review Seicento and the Cinquecento just to see how different they are from the Panda because, well, the Panda is essentially the more modern incarnation of those two cars.
I just thought of the thing that you could drop off. You could have a car, like an air freshener. So it's good, but it could just but it'd go in everybody's car, wouldn't it? Quite easily.
Yeah.
Get Pop Band Colour to design it.
Ooh, that's an idea.
And everybody sign it, and then who could auction off an air freshener?
You could get things like jokes involved.
Yeah. You have to stop by. You could turn it into a treasure hunt. You have to stop at a certain place, or that would be where you swapped over. So people would have to sign up to a county and a location, and you have to say we would go from the Red Funnel Ferryport, or I could be at Red Funnel Ferryport in Southampton, and have to take it to, I don't know, the Winchester Autobahn or something like that. Yeah. And then somebody from Winchester, Ben, there you go. Or Nino lives around there somewhere. Pick it up from.
I thought Nino was Somerset.
Oh. Who was it that comes from around there then?
Ben.
No, there's somebody else. Not Nino. Simon, Lot 76. They live in Winchester way. But say he could pick it. Carlos does. There you go. But he could pick it up. He could pick it up from there, and then take it to somewhere like Army Fly Museum where you pick it up and go around like that.
I have good connections with the Army Fly Museum now. Would you believe? Can't think why.
We have very good connections with the Army Fly Museum, and we will be going back there.
Definitely
confirmed now.
Yes, but looking, I guess. Do you want to say anything about next year, or should we save that for future live streams?
We can mention things. If there's things that you want to do. Okay, obviously, the standard shows and events will happen. Mm-hmm. We have plans of what we're going to do, but I think it's probably better to leave that until later on to explain.
I will say we have obviously since the party in September. Obviously, it's now the next month on from that. Mm-hmm. We have obviously had quite a few questions asking, "Are we doing any more socials?" At the minute, we've got nothing planned, but we have got a few ideas that we've been throwing around at the minute. So
I think we can say we've got things planned but not booked. So we know what we want to do. It's just getting it sorted. Yeah.
So potentially, when are we looking next year, roughly? If we are going to do one,
we'll probably be going back to the museum again
at some point. Yeah.
But we're probably looking at the same time as this year's, roughly around sort of
end of show season,
September time. But we are looking also to go to a different part of the country.
Yeah.
On a smaller scale.
Yeah, we won't be taking the whole fleet with us. Maybe
it will
one
just
or
be
two.
one, maybe two, depending on how much stuff we've got to bring us.
Well, we have a caravan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take the C5.
A different point in the year. But we'll see. We want to try and get a little bit further away and not to the sort of, as much as we would like to, as you've already mentioned, is do like a jokes event, like everybody else has, kind of thing. It would be something that would be a kind of bonus extra.
Yes.
I think we'd rather get to somewhere down like Simone's is like Devon on the Cornwall border, so sort of somewhere down there where maybe the YouTubers don't flock
usually
to as often. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's definitely something to consider. But as you say, it'd be good to go to places that may be different. I mean, I think we made it quite plain on this channel already that we do absolutely love the Jilks Garage Cafe. It's one of our favourite venues.
And there's nothing wrong with it, but we also know the stress and the pressure that it causes when 60 plus cars turn up. And if we had that same amount that have turned up to the party this year, we would be putting them under a lot of pressure that we don't want to be putting them under, put it that way.
No. The team there are very good and we have great chats with them.
Oh yeah, they're lovely people.
And they are actually quite keen to obviously host an event of some sort. And it is something we will consider in the future, but we'll just have to see how numbers go for something like that. But yeah.
Yes, it's not off the cards, but it's not on the cards at the moment either.
But no, we just thought we'd give you a little bit of an update. And Carlos, let's start Tax and Tested up. Yeah, so for those who don't know, was it last year? Was it the year before?
2020.
That was a long time ago. 2020, myself, Carlos, and another friend called Chris, we had a go at doing a podcast at the time when podcasts were stupidly popular and interviews and things like that because nobody could go anywhere.
Still very popular.
They are still very popular, but they're even more popular amongst YouTubers at that time. Because it was locked down, nobody could go anywhere, so virtual chats were the way to go. We thought we'd do a podcast, and we had a go, and we got it called Tax and Tested. I really like the logo for that myself because I designed it. So yeah, really, no, haven't you? Oh, I'll have to show you it then. But yeah, we started that up, and we just haven't had the time, nor I guess the thought going to, because we've been busy with other things.
Yeah, we can get it sorted though.
So I think maybe looking over winter and maybe next year we'll have a rethink, see what we can do that's maybe different from other podcasts out there.
I can imagine really they would just be a little bit like this, but with you two rather than
possibly. But we'll see. Maybe try and get guests on. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
even just for a section, couldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, segment.
Segment. Yeah, Ace Cafe in London. They host a lot of club meets. They do. It's quite a popular venue actually. But am I right in thinking it's one of these places that is not necessarily getting a bad rap from all the people that turn up because it is a very, very popular place. But it's one of these places which is maybe at risk of being inside ultra low emission zones and all that, and it's putting people off. I've heard a few mixed things here and there.
It's all right, take C5.
Well, I could take the C5. It's a long way to cycle.
Yeah,
take the train
you could go up to the Eulers and then go in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to it just to see what it's like, but I've heard it's changed quite drastically from
That's one car I would like to review or have a drive of. I'd like to drive a Tesla.
Tesla, really?
Yeah, just to see how computerized it is. I mean, I found the Corsa very techy, so I think I'd be a bit I'd feel like I was in a computer driving a Tesla, but
be different.
They do all their launches in Southampton.
Do they?
Because they come over on boats from America.
Oh, that makes sense.
They do all their launches in the ocean terminal in Southampton. It's a very nice building.
There we go. Maybe we can do a 3-person review of a Tesla then of some sort. That'd be a good idea. See if we can get one.
See how far we can get in it before it dies.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, Nino's just confirmed that Ace Cafe will be in the ultra low emission zones from late 2023. But cars over 40, so that's you and I stuffed. Well, we could take new cars actually, because they're ultra low emission zone. Gertie would be okay, and the Fiat's actually probably be okay for that, because they're probably new enough.
I don't know.
The Panda's ULO's compliant
at the moment.
At the minute, yeah, but 2023 it might.
Yeah, I reckon.
We'll see.
I reckon things will change.
Probably, we'll see, because it's Euro 4 and up now, isn't it, petrol? Whereas it's just Euro 5 and 6 for diesel now.
Yeah, I reckon stuff will change quite dramatically over the next couple of years.
It's £12.50 a day. Okay.
Which isn't so bad if you're only going for a day.
No, that's true.
And even to be honest, if you're going for 2 days, that's still only like 25.
Yeah, it's not too bad. If you're living in that area, it'd be awful.
Yeah, could you imagine the cost of it? Oof. But then they can afford to live in London, so, never mind.
Well, some people do. Some people don't afford it,
Well, if they can afford to have a house and a car in London, or if they can afford to have a car in London, then they must have quite a big house in London.
Yeah.
Because parking is a premium.
It is.
Not a fan of Tesla. See, lots of people say that they're not fans or that they really like them, and I don't know either way because I've never actually seen one more than seeing one on the motorway. I'd like to have a good look, good nosy.
Yeah.
A couple of people who I watch on YouTube, not car related, have Teslas, and I'm quite intrigued by them. Just a whacking great big screen,
essentially that's what it is. There's very little in the way of buttons in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ian's hoping to get a review of a Metro 6R4 replica that a friend of his dad is building. Might be a few years away though at the rate going. That's okay.
It's all right, little bit of
it's future plans.
Building. Yeah, it's got its 2024 diary out there.
Yeah, I like the 6R4. It's a good little car. It's like a rally car type thing.
Sorry, I'm starting to get tired. Can anybody tell? My half term is catching up on me. What would I be like if it was after a week at work?
Who knows? Yeah. Oh, you're planning to go to Romania, are you, Cars? Maybe you can stop off at the Dacia factory and get some Dacia footage for me.
That'd be cool.
That sounds really sad. But they are built in Romania.
There you
so
go. Birthday present for you if you go before your birthday. Some Dacia footage.
Yeah. Go to the... we'll have to find out, actually, and maybe have a look and message you about that. But yeah, go and have a look. See what Dacia are like. So they are, at the minute, they're still one of the faster growing brands in the UK still.
I'd still like... I mean, Mum's looking into getting... My mum's looking into getting another car as her, what is it, PCP or whatever it is up.
Yeah.
And I'd still like to push her towards trying a Dacia. Because I do like them.
She can have a go at Mum's if you like.
Yeah, well, I think that's the kind of size of the car that she'd want. I know Dad wouldn't be a massive fan of her having something that big, but...
They're not huge.
But yeah, it's not... The wheelbase is not massive. It's just a bit taller, isn't it?
Well, she can just get a normal Sandero if she wants.
Yeah.
They're shorter, 4 centimetres shorter. Yeah. Ah, that's an interesting point you raised there. I didn't actually know that residents got a discount for living within the ultra-low emission zones.
I can't imagine it'd be much. There might only be £10 rather than £12.50 or something.
No, it might be something like that. But either way, there's a reason why so many cars are being sold off now cheaply in London that are perfectly good cars.
Yeah.
But they're just not able to afford to run them anymore because of ultra-low emission zone costs, as far as I know.
Yeah. I haven't been to London since the 90s. I don't think you're missing anything, to be honest.
No. Last time I went was a couple of years ago for a college project.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it?
You went last year.
I keep thinking that. No, you're right. I went to Syon Park.
Last year, yeah.
Okay, the last time I went to...
was 20...
The last time I went to central
19?
London. Then.
Yeah, 2019. Was it last 2019, 2018? Somewhere around there, but pre-pandemic anyway.
Last time I went to London was a night when there was a terrorist scare in the centre of London. So my phone just lit up from everybody, like, where are you? Are you anywhere near this place? I'm like, no, what's going on? Of course, police, sirens, always heading to locations. And it's like, oh, okay. Are you at the train station? It's like, no.
Completely oblivious to what's going on.
Not a clue. Had no idea what was going on.
I last went to go and see Les Miserables in the theatre. And have a really weird lunch in a place called Oaxaca. Oaxaca. It was really nice, but it was really spicy, and we were all sat there. It was me and my friends from my choir, and they were all like, well, one's in their 40s and the rest of them are in their 60s.
Yeah.
We get on like a house on fire. They're brilliant. But they weren't expecting it to be that spicy. And we were all talking like that because it was really hot. I mean, it was like, good job. Nobody can hear us because it was just like, oh my God.
Terrible.
But yeah, it was really spicy, but it was really nice. Wasn't enough
dear.
water. We couldn't get the. That was the. That
You
was
couldn't
it.
get the water
we
fast
couldn't get
enough.
the waiter to bring the water fast enough
No,
because we
yes.
couldn't get it out because we were. Oh, it's so hot. God.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
I can't
sorry.
imagine having hot food that hot.
I think the trouble was it was temperature hot and spicy hot.
Oh, I see.
So it was kind of the worst case scenario
Mm.
for both of it. And I mean, none of us were particularly good at handling heat, we assumed.
But there's another. Sorry, just going back to this.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Ian's got an idea. It'd be a good idea to get a few YouTuber guests on to chat about their channel and projects.
Yes.
So I'd like to do that actually. Get a few people on.
Well, if you think
from
if
various
you could get a tax and tested out every month,
can have people come
you
on
could
that.
you could have 12 people, one
Yeah.
a month. I'm sure I know one person who would be up for it.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
my dad.
Excellent.
And that would be a 12-hour long special that he just talk about his 150,000 million cars that he's owned. So there you go. But
Yeah,
he
he
would
has
love
had
that.
quite a few cars. Actually.
Yeah, I think it's probably in the 100, not hundreds, but 100 plus.
He has had quite a few. Cars might be going to Londinium tomorrow. Tries to avoid it. Can't say I blame you. I'm not the biggest fan of London. I'm definitely
really
more rural.
Yeah, definitely. I don't mind it for like a day, maybe a weekend. I've done a weekend in London.
So have I with scouts and things back in the day.
I've only done one weekend in London. That was like 4 years ago. But and I mean that was a lovely weekend. I stayed in a really nice place. It was like a hotel, but it was kind of like flats. So you had like a kitchen and a lounge bit, and then the bedroom and the bathroom. And we stayed for 2 nights. But the place was really nice, and the tube station was just down the road, so you could go right into central London. But I wouldn't rush back to London for too much.
No.
The only thing that kind of draws me to London is the theatre, and
yes,
even then I've only seen 1 show in a London. No, 2 shows in a London theatre.
Yeah. If I had to choose one city to stay in longer term, of the ones that I've been to in the past, and I guess no, because I can't really come out on ones I've never been to, obviously. York. I really like York. It's a nice city.
The last time I went to York was in 2011.
Last time I went was 2018.
And they burnt my dad in the dungeon, and that terrified me, even though I was like
York
14.
dungeons.
But they put my dad in the fire and burnt him. So I can't say I want to rush back to York.
No? Oh, that's a shame. I like York. It's a nice city.
I'm just not a city person. Like if I think of cities, I don't.
I've been to Rome. Like the touristy area is really nice. Anywhere out of there, it's a bit rubbish.
Divey.
But then you can
cities
say that
don't
about most
appeal.
cities.
But then I must say that cities, I like Salisbury and I like Winchester.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't live in Winchester,
In the
and
centre.
I wouldn't live in the centre of Salisbury. I'd live on the outskirts, but I wouldn't live in the centre of it. You couldn't afford to live in Winchester anyway, unless you're a millionaire.
Quite wealthy. Yeah. Meanwhile, bought a 12-inch single from HMV in 97 on Oxford Street. What was the single? Let us know. I know somebody who's got quite a few LPs at the minute, just to give away. Neil Diamond, if anybody's interested.
Well, Neil Diamond's got LPs to give away.
No, not him. I know somebody who's got
Neil Diamond LPs.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested, let me know down below. I'll save them before they all go to the tip.
Gosh.
Basically. No, apparently their mother was a big fan, so these just kept holding them forever and ever and ever. And now, time to go.
Train.
Might be. Yes. Yeah, LA is better. Not keen on that either. I can't really comment. I've never been to LA.
No.
And Barcelona. I've never been to Barcelona. I've never been to Spain.
I've been to Spain twice.
I've been to Portugal, but never to Spain.
You're going to see my auntie in Spain?
You could do if you like. Why not?
Well,
but no, as we are nearly now at the 2-hour mark.
And I'm very, very rapidly falling asleep back
Yeah, I
here.
can tell.
I've been awake for a very long time.
Shall we sort of, I guess, wrap this up and just ask if you've got any final questions to ask, basically?
You've got your last couple of minutes.
Yeah, should we go until about 5 past?
5 past. Anything that
past
comes
ish.
in after 5 past, you've had it.
Wow.
Yes. But thank you, though, to everybody who has stuck around the whole time. There's fluctuated between sort of 6 and 18 people today, which has been really nice, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't it? You got
Class.
Michael Jackson, Blood on the Dance Floor remix. I don't think I've heard that one.
Gosh, right. Night, Carlos. Tapping out. Night, Nino.
And Ian as well.
And Ian. Oh, you're all
perfect.
going. But there's still potentially 6 people.
Yeah.
Cities don't appeal to me either. Dated a girl in London for 6 months or so and was there every other weekend. It's a
hateful place
to live. I thought it said helpful. I need to sit
hateful.
closer. I need glasses, I think.
I'm just too used to having cows for neighbours, lol. Yeah, likewise, apart from not having cows, it's mainly sheep for me in the past.
I've got people, but I'd rather sheep or cows.
I don't mind sheep, which I used to feed grass through the gate.
Night, Simone.
No, not everyone.
With a little wave.
Literally. But yeah, have you got any final questions to ask as we draw into the final
Anybody
few
who's
minutes?
left? I don't know who's left, but
There's 6 people left. So
it's all the quiet people. Take this as your opportunity while there's not any of these noisy, chatty folk. Say hello. Let us know who you are. Bot or not, let us know.
I like suburbia.
Suburbia's okay. I mean, I live in the suburbs.
The burbs. I can't comment.
Oh, that's much too strong for me. I don't know how I managed to make that. I might have given myself yours. Oh.
Might well know. It's quite possible, although that one's pretty strong as well.
Yeah, well, I live in the suburb. You know what it's like here.
Oh, I do know what it's like. It's all right.
You just need to be here for a little bit longer to get a better idea of it, I suppose.
Let's say bye to the others lot. Oh, she's not going just yet.
She's not going. Bye. Bye, everyone. Hi for staying. Thanks for staying.
Hi for staying.
Hi for staying. I'm tired. Shush.
I know.
Somebody's alarm went off at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, Genevieve.
It wasn't mine.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. It was yours, and then you turn it off and go.
I can sleep through anything, whereas she cannot.
Yeah, you can sleep with a thunderstorm. Pin can drop, and that's me awake.
Well, you say that, although I did get woken up by thunder the other morning.
You did, but that was a very, very loud rumble of thunder that went on for a very long time.
I thought it was a plane at first. I was like,
I know you did, but then planes are also quite common here.
Well, yes, that's true.
We are on the Southampton Airport. What's it called?
Flight path.
Flight path. I was going to say fly past. No,
Fly
that
path.
wasn't that. Sorry, TikTok video.
Well,
I don't think we've done our
Any plans? Any plans on painting any cars? Not particularly, actually.
What, painting the actual car or painting a picture of it?
I imagine painting the actual car.
Oh, don't look like you're picking your nose, hey?
I was scratching my thing
Oh.
off myself. Oh, that was bad to read out of context. I really read that wrongly. No, Ian, don't do it. Hopefully my human alarm clock doesn't go off in the early hours in the morning. # sick baby. Oh well. Hopefully he gets better soon, Ian.
Yeah. Also, I hope that it helps, but I don't know. Does Northern Ireland's time change at the same time as ours? We don't forget to change your clocks back.
That is a very good point. I don't know.
2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
I know the Channel Islands do. I'd imagine. Yeah.
It probably does. We're all under the same time zone, aren't we?
Yeah.
So you might get an extra hour in bed.
Yeah. Please, before you go, Ian, let us know though, because generally I've got no clue about that.
I'm sure we can Google it if he has offed.
If he has off him. Yes, we do. Still the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought as much.
Also, just checking. Without giving us that little face there.
I don't know. It could have been a regional thing.
Naive.
I mean,
20-somethings.
I mean, Jersey was quite different to the UK for a very, very long time, even though it's part of the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Still quite different.
Also, I think that how I'm sitting, this t-shirt gives a very accurate representation to actually how my spine looks. That nice curve in it.
Gosh.
Well, never mind.
Never mind, though.
Who's messaging me now?
Probably Carlos. He's still up and about. But yes, any final questions? Otherwise, I think really you should bring this video to a close.
1 minute and 15 seconds. In theory, we should get 5 quick comments. Go, go, go.
5
Bam,
quick
bam,
comments.
bam, bam, bam.
1 from each person.
Yeah.
That's still left.
I'd love that if you did do that. 5 quick now.
Bang. Get it in.
Even if it's just hi. Just hi, hello.
I've been following your channel for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a long paragraph that fills the whole chat box.
See how yesterday's video is done. 115 views. It's not too bad. I sent you a pin. We've lost 3 subscribers.
Oh, is it that bad a live stream? The exact finish point of the race to Northern Ireland.
Ah, that's it. Perfect. We shall have a look at that in a moment's time. But yes, I think really then that brings a close to this month's live stream.
Yes.
It's gone on for 2 hours.
That's 10 now we've done.
We've done pretty well this year so far.
Yes.
With that. But yes, anyway, thank you all for joining the live stream for October. Really not a month. We've done a huge amount.
Yep.
Really, but
that's life. It's not always going to be busy.
We still thought we'd try and keep these going.
Yeah.
I think
and we'll see you at the end of November. You know, try not to argue too much over my Twitter poll next time, hey? And pick a date.
Ooh,
don't
salty.
Don't 50% it, but we're looking at probably the 26th, 27th of November.
Roughly around then.
Just to let you all know.
But yes, we shall see you around the end of November. So thank you for watching and, well, see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.